In the vibrant heart of Florence, where the art breathes history and every cobblestone tells a story, two souls found their destinies entwined under the golden hues of an Italian sunset. Emma, a passionate painter, and Luca, a charismatic poet, met by chance in a bustling cafe near the Ponte Vecchio. From their first shared glance, a spark ignited, a connection so intense it seemed preordained by the stars. Emma, with her brushes and vivid canvases, saw the world in swatches of emotion and color. Luca, whose words danced off the page and into the hearts of those who listened, found in Emma a muse that inspired sonnets and verses that flowed like the Arno River. Together they explored the city of love, their days filled with laughter and nights with profound declarations of affection under starlit skies. Their love was a tapestry of passionate kisses, whispered promises, and dreams shared in the quiet corners of Florence. They were inseparable, each moment without the other feeling like a year. To Emma, Luca was the air that filled her lungs. To Luca, Emma was the pulse that made his heart beat. Their connection deepened into a dependency so intense that life without the other seemed an impossible, unbearable thought. As they wandered through galleries and strolled along the river, their love grew into a fervent force, palpable to all who saw them. People began to speak of the love between Emma and Luca as a legendary tale of romance woven into the fabric of the city itself. They inspired art, music, and poetry, becoming muses not only to each other but to all of Florence. One warm evening, as the city hummed with the melody of a local festival, Luca took Emma to the top of the Piazzale Michelangelo. Overlooking the cityscape, Luca presented Emma with a ring, a delicate piece with a stone as blue as the twilight sky. His proposal was a poem, each word more loving and earnest than the last. Emma, tears of joy streaming down her face, accepted without hesitation. The night sky erupted in cheers from nearby onlookers, and fireworks mirrored their explosive joy. Their love was perfect, all-encompassing, a force that neither of them could live without. Yet, as they danced into the night, neither could predict how soon this perfect world would shatter, how quickly fate would test the strength of their bond. The idyllic summer faded into a melancholic autumn, and with the shift of seasons came a cruel twist of fate that neither Emma nor Luca could have anticipated. A mysterious affliction struck Luca, one that rendered him invisible to the world, and most heartbreakingly to Emma. Despite his presence for Emma, Luca had vanished without a trace, as if he had been erased from existence. Emma's world crumbled overnight. She woke to find Luca's side of the bed cold, his clothes untouched, his texts and calls absent. The streets of Florence, once a canvas of their love, became a maze of sorrow, each corner a reminder of memories they had made. Confusion and despair gripped her heart. Had Luca left her? Was his love a lie? The thoughts tormented her, each day a battle against the agony of perceived abandonment. For Luca, the reality was a torment of another kind. He saw Emma's despair, her tear-streaked face as she wandered through their favorite spots, calling his name in a voice broken by sorrow. He reached out to touch her, to wipe away her tears, to offer words of comfort, but his hands, his voice, his very being went unnoticed. The pain of witnessing Emma's suffering, compounded by his helplessness, was a torture he had never imagined. Day after day, Luca followed Emma, a ghost in his own life, unseen and unheard. He watched as she slowly withdrew from the world they loved, her vibrant spirit dimmed by grief. Emma's paintings became somber, her nights sleepless, and her days a series of silent cries for a love she believed had forsaken her. The isolation weighed on Luca's soul, each of Emma's sobs a dagger to his heart. He wrote poems of love and loss, words that no one could read, filling notebooks with verses that spoke of his undying love and his profound sorrow. He left them in places she would find, hoping beyond hope that somehow she would feel his presence, understand his plight. But the divide was too great, the curse unyielding. As winter approached, the weight of the unseen and the unsaid grew heavier. Emma, heartbroken and lost, continued to question her worth, her reality, and the very essence of the love she once held as unbreakable. The city that had once echoed with the joy of their union now whispered tales of tragedy, a love story suspended in a painful limbo. Winter draped Florence in a veil of frost, each chill wind echoing the cold emptiness in Emma's heart. The vibrant colors of her life had faded to the monochrome of grief. Her days were spent wandering the city like a shadow, each step an effort to escape the haunting memories of Luca. In her isolation, Emma believed she had lost not just her partner but her soulmate, the one person with whom she had shared an irreplaceable bond. As the months passed, Emma's friends and family tried to ease her suffering, encouraging her to reconnect with the world around her. Reluctantly, she began to venture back into social settings, her smile forced, her laughter hollow. It was in one such attempt, a local art exhibition, that she met Matteo, a young sculptor whose gentle demeanor and understanding eyes reminded her that beauty could still exist in the wake of loss. Matteo, moved by Emma's story and her profound emotional depth, found himself drawn to her. He offered kindness without expectation, listening to her stories of Luca and watching her slowly come back to life. Matteo's sculptures, which captured human emotions in stone, resonated with Emma. She saw in them the possibility of permanence, of beauty frozen in time, unlike her fleeting moments with Luca. Gradually, Emma found solace in Matteo's company. His presence brought a calm to her storm, a new perspective on love and healing. She began to paint again, her canvases slowly regaining color, each stroke a tentative step towards a new future. Her relationship with Matteo deepened, built on a foundation of mutual respect and shared grief. Luca, ever present yet unseen, watched this new chapter unfold with a silent agony. He witnessed Emma's smiles return, her laughter grow stronger, all shared with another. Each moment of her happiness was a bittersweet reminder of what they had lost. Luca cried in silence, his tears unseen like the rain in the night, mourning a life that could have been. Yet, in his heart, Luca knew Emma needed to find happiness, even if it was not with him. From the depths of his invisible world, he whispered his goodbyes, his words lost in the wind but felt in the subtle calm they brought. He watched as Emma, under a cascade of new cherry blossoms, pledged her love to Matteo, her eyes bright with tears of hope and new beginnings. The love story of Emma and Luca had ended not with betrayal, but with the tragic poetry of circumstance. In its place, a new love had blossomed, one that did not erase the past but promised to honor it in the laughter and tears of the future. As the spring returned to Florence, the city of art and love, it held within its embrace a tale of two loves, one lost to fate, the other found in the ruins. Luca, with one final, unseen caress, faded away, leaving Emma to the life she deserved, forever a whisper in her heart, an echo of their undying love.